So I'm joined today by the founder of Zalego Academy, co-founder of Zalda, newly minted chief product officer for Stepwise, and friend of mine, Eric Mutuku. We're going to get to Zalego and the idea behind founding it and what drove you both to be an entrepreneur and to get into the education space in particular. But let's set the table a little bit. Tell me a little bit about you, where you grew up, family life. What was little Eric like as a kid?
As a small child, I was very playful. Growing up, I couldn't figure out why in church I was being selected to be the person who prays, to be the Sunday school teacher. And in every small gathering where we had small kids and the youth, I was always told, you lead us. Then at that point, I used to wonder, why is everyone picking up on me? I was a leader at primary school. I was still went to high school, still led the school. I was still the youth leader back in church. So that's when things started falling into place.
Were you into school as a kid? Were you into sports as a kid? Both? Like what got you most excited as a kid?
Sports.
Okay.
Frankly, never liked school, never liked books. When I cleared my high school, most of the time I really contemplated going back to my dad and telling him, just give me capital to get into transport business. I couldn't stand the idea of going to university for another 4 years. And anything that would come in to give me quick money, I would have gone with that.
So we're lucky your dad didn't give you some money?
Very lucky. And interesting, I was also very good in sports. Used to play rugby, was a captain of a martial arts group in school. So very much involved in
rugby, martial arts.
Yeah.
No soccer? Football?
No, I wasn't really good in football.
Okay. And so growing up, born and raised in Kenya, what part of the country?
Born and raised in Kenya, Machakos.
Okay.
Yeah.
And brothers and sisters?
6 of us, the firstborn.
What about technology? Were you into technology at all?
So this is where I got the spark of technology. So where my parents used to work, that was the time computers were distributed. So my parents used to work for Parastatal. This is a semi-government. My dad happened to get one in his office. And so during our weekends, he used to leave his key in the house. So we knew there was a computer in his office. So my brother and I would get the keys over the weekend and go to the office and play games. And my brother kept asking me, how do you think they got it in this computer? Apparently my brother, who still helps me with ideas to now, was more curious with computers than I was.
Okay. What's the age difference?
1 year.
1 year, okay.
1 year difference. That time we had telephone booths. You know, the ones that you put coins and make a call.
Yes, I am old enough to remember those.
Yeah. It's my brother who actually showed me how to hack them. Prompting questions to date. He keeps prompting questions to me. Have you thought of this? Have you thought of doing this? Have you thought of, to date? As late as last week, send me a very long message on how we need to help. We have a place in Uhuru Park where people just go and stay there because they don't have jobs. To date, he asked me, have you thought of how we're going to help those people with technology?
You finish high school, you're hoping your dad gives you some money so you can go into business, but you end up at JQuat. How does that happen?
I finished high school. Then at that time, I need to take a break. I convinced my dad to let me go and live in Kijabe. Kijabe also had instead a bit of character in me. I remember one time, this is very important, especially everyone always here asks me, how come you're very punctual? We tell you it's 9, you're there 5 minutes before. This story goes back to Kijabe. So we are leaving to come to town with my cousin, and one of the surgeons is coming to pick us up, and we're 5 minutes late, and he leaves us. I'm looking at my cousin, I'm wondering, how could he leave us? So my cousin tells me, because we're 5 minutes late. And ever since that time, that has never left my mind. While in Kijabe, someone comes to the house and he does distribution of potatoes. And there is there sitting and telling me how he does that and how he's making money. And I'm thinking, why do I need to go to university? Let me just go back home and tell my dad to buy me a truck, and I should be doing this business and making money. I come back home, I'm waiting for that moment when I could tell my dad that I don't want to go to campus. That moment never came.
So, because I'm sure, and even I'm not, I don't understand completely how placement at university works.
Yeah.
So when you graduated from high school and you took what they call them, the Form 4 exams.
Yes.
So that you had to do pretty well on those, not pretty well, you had to do really well on those exams to qualify for JQuad.
Correct.
So explain how exactly that works.
I finished my KCSE, I get my results. At that time, what happens on Form 4, you fill out, before you finish Form 4, you have to fill a list of courses that you want to take at the university.
Okay.
For me, I was very clear that the courses have to be courses that I can create employment.
Okay.
So the only two courses I knew that I could create employment with was IT and agriculture.
Okay.
So that's what I failed. So the two letters came, inviting me for agriculture and IT.
Okay.
So I opted to go for IT because I realized, this is the in thing, looks like this has a future. I loved agriculture, I love farming, but I didn't see the future in farming.
It's interesting that your two choices were agriculture, which certainly at the time would have been devoid of technology.
Exactly.
And going the technology route. So that's interesting.
Yeah, and then my dad also was in agriculture. He used to work for, it used to be called CARI, it's a parastatal, but it's a research institute for agriculture. That's where I grew my interest in agriculture as well. At that time, it was booming, but looking forward, I didn't see where it's going.
Right.
But IT, I remember my curiosity and how I used to interact with equipment. That would show me where the future looks like. That's why I decided to go with IT in JQuad.
So how long between high school and did you go to university? Did you take a year off?
Usually a year off.
Sure. Okay.
Yes.
So what was college like for you?
Remember, I don't like books. So I can't wait for 4 years to be over. And I can't wait to get started. So first year in class, of course, curiosity. And then second year, I'm starting to wonder, how do I start making money with what I'm being taught? And so in second year, I remember started a business where I could buy all stuff from the people who are leaving campus and sell it to the people who are joining campus. Still a second year, that time we had been taught how to build websites. So I started thinking then, how do I use this skill that I've been taught and start building websites for the hotels around in Juja, Thika? So, and then for me to do that, how do I go to a hotel and tell them I need to build them a website? So I need to know how to do a proposal. I was lucky enough, my desk mate just came from Germany. I couldn't stand the weather there, so he had to come back to Kenya. And so when he came to Kenya, he had to repeat. He has to take classes before, 2 classes before. So he had to join our second year class. So I also learned a lot from him because in Germany, they were way advanced. So in the evening, I'll spend a lot of time at his place. And if I'm not at his place, I'm at the cyber cafe, researching and finding out more about what I'm being taught in class.
So that gets you, so we're through your third year, fourth year, you get through school. You've now got to cross that bridge that your classmates were talking about.
Yeah.
So what'd you do after university?
So before then, you have to go for attachment for you to now clear campus. So my dad knew someone in another parastatal. It's called East Africa Portland Cement. This is a parastatal that manufactures cement. One day I'm seated there and I'm seeing this lady walking across each and every office. So East Africa Portland is a very big company. And so I walked to her and asked her, so what is it that you do every day? Because I see you moving out in each and every office. So she tells me she takes stock of each and every computer in each and every department. I asked her, for the entire company? She said yes. So I asked her, how often do you do this? As often as possible. So I asked her, what if I create a software for you that can help you manage assets? and move assets within companies. So I went to the IT manager, told them, just give me some time, I create a solution for you guys. So I create an asset management system for the company. The IT manager can't believe it. And they go ahead and ask me,
So are you learning these coding skills at university, or are you mostly self-taught?
self-taught.
Okay.
Remember the cyber cafe, my friend from Germany. So I learned a lot there. So I was able actually to build a full product, but I didn't have a place I could practice.
Right.
So now here is a place where I could actually practice how to build this product. It comes a time when the company wants to employ more people. So the IT manager tells me, look, there is a position here. You can actually apply and join. I tell him, no, I'm not interested. And this guy couldn't believe it.
Put it in context,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Jobs are not easy to come by.
Yes.
Particularly jobs in IT.
Exactly.
And you get handed a job in IT and say no.
Yes.
Okay.
But to me, I'm thinking, the moment I get this job, I'm done.
Okay.
Whatever dreams I ever had of creating employment, this is it. Interesting enough, I got very uncomfortable. You know, that feeling that you get in the stomach, I'm like, no, I don't want this. I mean, it lets me be. So the attachment is over. I go and live at my aunt's place. I remember it was a period of 2 weeks. I don't know what to do. I don't know what next. But all I know is I'll be building solutions. 1 week, I get a call from the, I think it was the quality assurance person at East Africa Portland. Asked me, do you know Java? I told him yes. Can you be able to build a mobile application? I told him yes. He's like, I want to refer you to someone. They are looking for a mobile application developer. And we've seen what you can do. And we've already recommended you to go and build. I go meet this guy. He tells me they're building a distribution system. They need someone who can build a mobile application that can be able to capture data of the distribution, how they distribute drinks through Nairobi. So I told him it's something I can do. And so we built this product. No one could understand how we are building software on a laptop and putting it in a mobile phone. So we finished this product, and then we were 3 people. Then one of my friends gets a job at Safaricom to build the current Safaricom portal, which is safaricom.co.ke. This guy calls me and tells me Safaricom is looking for someone to help them build mobile application. I go there, and then I realize they actually do not really want someone to help them build mobile products, but they actually want someone to train their staff on how to do it. So they ask me what kind of devices I need. They buy all the devices, bring them, because at that time we didn't have a way to test on the laptop. You have to test physically with a device.
So what generation are we talking about here in terms of, so we're at what, iPhone 12?
Yeah.
Are we at like iPhone 4 or what? Where are we with?
Because we were using a platform that used to be called Symbian.
Okay.
Now we have Android. So before Android, we had Symbian.
Okay.
Which was mostly on 1G and 2G.
Okay.
So internet, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what.
So not a lot of horsepower in those devices.
No. Even internet capacity was very limited.
Right.
I get the products, start training people on how to develop those mobile applications. Little did I know that they're looking at starting an academy for training people on how to build softwares in collaboration with Strathmore. So after I do the training at Safaricom, then the training is now moved to Strathmore. So Strathmore partners with Safaricom to now start offering training on software development and majorly mobile development.
Strathmore is a big, private, very well-known, prestigious private university here in Nairobi.
Exactly. I moved from Safaricom now to Strathmore, and now I'm lecturing their part-time master's class. I have a degree, but I don't have a PhD, but teaching a master's class. I realized I need to look around and start seeing what kind of product to build. I used to be very passionate about building software solutions from campus. And that aspect of building something and having it come to life and giving it out. And I realized how passionate I was when we were building distribution systems. So I have free time. And so I'm thinking to myself, how do I come up with products that I can sell? And what products do I need to come up with that will make me money? Very interesting. I was not really keen on a product that I want to sell one of. I was always keen on products that will keep earning money for me for a long time. So I remember my first one was selling SMS solutions. It was very common at that time. But again, what used to excite me about it, it's long term. It's buying and selling. So go and buy SMSs and sell. During that time, I also realized every time I go to teach students, most of them are texting and finding out when I'm free so that they can also come and learn more. So I started getting a lot of students coming to me for show me more, teach me more, show me this. And then I'll start getting calls from other students, from other universities. Quickly, I realized a lot of these students are coming to me for, I need help here and there. So I said, what if I start a program where I just go to the universities and show them a few things here and there. That time, I'd already gotten an office in this building, 4th floor.
Okay.
One room. So I said, this will be my office. This is where I'm just going to be doing my things here. And then in the evening, I can go to Strathmore. When I'm seeing this traffic of students, I'm thinking, I can use this to pay my rent. One time I come back to the office and later I get 5-6 students come. They tell me, there's what you're teaching us during your free time. We want you to teach us a full program. When are your free days? They give me, I write down. I tell them on these days, come here. I train you from this time to this time. And then you guys can go back to school. They go back to campus. They bring more students. I have no brochure. I don't have a fee structure. And
you have one little room.
I have one little room. And I keep telling myself, Eric, you're not going to open a school. You can't start a school. It's the biggest mistake you'll make. But I know I want to build software. What kept pushing me to train these guys more was I'm going to use them as a resource to help me build the softwares that I want to build. So if I train them well, then they're going to help me build the software that I want to build. So the room is now not enough.
What year is this?
2012, 2013.
What software are you teaching at this point? Is it still
mostly
just mobile? Okay.
Mobile was the most popular at that time.
Yeah.
And then of course people are looking at it will create jobs, you'll be able to. So everyone wanted to learn mobile. Went back to my landlord and it gave me the next room. So the next room became where the reception was because I realized someone needs to come and wait before this class is over so that I can shift this class in the coming class.
So you're the only instructor.
I'm the only instructor.
How many classes are you teaching a day now?
3.
3 classes a day.
Because I have to teach classes during the day and then go to stuff.
And then you're lecturing. So you're teaching 4 classes a day. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I quickly realized, okay, I'm the instructor. I'm the marketer. And now I got one person to help me with the reception work. Then I'm asking myself, how do I come up with marketing collateral? And these are things were falling into place. So when I go and talk about what I'm teaching, I'm wondering, I don't have something to give you to tell you more about what I'm doing. So I need brochures. I don't know how much this course goes for, so I need the fee structure. I don't know how long it takes for, so I need to come up with that. So everything is on the go. And so as students, the numbers kept increasing. I kept now moving to the next room. At the back of my mind still, I'm telling myself, do not start a school. You're just doing this for the short term, and then this will be over, and then you'll go back to software development, which is what you'd like to do. All these people you train, you can always have them back and help you with software development. So I'm in that nightmare of, I don't want to start a school, and if it was, I don't know where to get money. We had an event at HiHub. Samsung was hosting the event.
So iHub was really a pioneer in, not really even an incubator. It was more like a co-working space where young tech people got together, shared ideas.
Exactly.
It was really, one of the first, maybe the first.
Actually.
Here in Nairobi.
Yeah, so the first co-working space, and they used to host a lot of events. This one that hosted by Samsung, I wanted to attend. The reason is, Samsung is selling devices. I'm here teaching people how to develop mobile applications. I'm realizing Samsung is not having so many apps in their phones. How about if I go to them and tell them that I'll be able to develop mobile apps for them? And for me to be able to fill their stores, I'll use the student that I trained to build their store and fill it up with apps. So I go and sit in the event the whole day. While I'm sitting there is I want to figure out who do I need to talk to as these guys are speaking. I realize the main guy. Immediately the event is over, I walk to that guy. I quickly tell him, I can help you build apps for Samsung. Like, I'm a software developer. I develop mobile apps, and I can help Samsung build more apps for their store. It was in a corridor. We didn't have a long conversation. It's like, come to Samsung offices on this day, this time. Then I went, met the guy. He had called a bigger meeting. I tell them, I can help you guys build mobile apps. They like the idea. How will you get developers? I tell them I have this program that I do at universities where I train them.
But how many students would you say at this point are coming, not that you're teaching at Strathmore, but that you're teaching at Devon?
26, 30 there,
Okay.
Not so many.
So that'd be like 10 students per class?
Per class, yes. Because actually it was,
Because you can't get more than 10 people in the room.
It's one room. Yeah, it's actually a boardroom table, a very big one.
Right.
And everyone is seated around it, and then I'm sitting in the front of the boardroom. So I remember the managing director at that point asking me, so tell me more about how you do the training. So I take him through the process of, I just walk to universities and train, So he's asking me, what's the catch? Why are you doing it? Partly is, of course, you can be able to train developers, but I usually think that they gave me that job because they saw the passion I had in training developers to be able to develop mobile solutions. And so they said, okay, let's start a program, train numbers, we'll come up with ideas, and then the ones who qualify, they can build those products. The ones who build them perfectly, we can award them prizes. So I do the first one, super successful. 250 students in attendance at KCA University, seated all with laptops.
Wow.
Ready to take a class. When I was doing my report and that photo went to Samsung, they couldn't believe their eyes. So they asked me, can you do this in East Africa? I mean, if you can pull these numbers in Kenya, we have a branch in Uganda, we have a branch in Tanzania, we have a branch in Rwanda. Think of doing this in East Africa. To organize the program from start to finish. All Samsung used to tell me is, just tell us how many students were there, multiply by your fee that you want to charge per student, plus the food you want them to eat, everything, your transport, everything, send us the invoices. And they paid each and every one of them. I think in total, I trained around 1,000 plus, 1,000 to 1,500 students in East Africa, all on mobile.
And how long were these classes? How long did each of them?
So these were called boot camps.
Okay.
So these were short classes.
Yep.
They were 3 days classes. Okay. So you'd only train from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And out of that, you leave them with tons of tutorials. So I went ahead and created a tutorial, created handbooks, put the notes in soft copy in CDs, and I used to leave it with them. So at least even if I leave, they have content to refer to. And we started doing competitions, and Samsung used to award them. The last competition we did, a student walked here and told me thank you, bought me a watch similar to this. This student got a prize money of 750,000 Kenya shillings.
Wow.
From Samsung for building a game. So this was a global competition. The money I got now from Samsung is the money that I use now to buy computers, buy furniture, increase the space, partition. At that point, when Samsung kept funding the program, that's when I moved to 6th floor, where we are right now.
So was it, you've been saying to yourself all along, I'm not starting a school, I'm not starting a school. Yeah. Was it sort of a gradual, and then you woke up one day and went, oh crap, I guess I'm starting a school? Or was there some moment where you sort of, your mind shifted?
What happened is, and this happened when I was in Uganda. So I'm training. And I remember after that session, everyone kept coming to me and telling me, the way you teach, the way you do this, we've never seen someone teach like the way you do. And every time I go there, you'd see that dissipation. First time you went, there were probably 50 people who trained. The second time you're going, people are waiting to be taught. So I slowly realized there was something in me, the way I teach, the way I deliver content. People are so grateful on how, you've taught them something they didn't know, you've elevated them. And so that went on in Tanzania, in Rwanda. I could say starting Zalego was pushed by the people I trained, but it was not me sitting down and saying I need to start an education place.
The name's a Lego.
Yeah.
That...
I told myself it has to be something that has to do with passion. So I came up with the word zeal to go, passion to go. Interesting enough, who's helping me doing this? The students that I teach. They're like, look, Eric, you have a lot of passion. Let's build something that has the word passion in it. We realize passion is not the word. So a student wrote zeal to go. Then they said, okay, let's play around with these words. Let's see what we come up with. And that one student is one who came up with the word Zalego.
Okay.
And I said, wow, this is a good name. One, it's unique. Two, it sounds African. And it's a name you'll struggle to learn in the first place, but when you get it, it will never leave you.
Right.
It's so unique.
You've mentioned a couple of times your interest in creating employment.
Yes.
Where do you think that came from? Why is that something that has driven you throughout?
We had these neighbors who were very poor. All the time I used to wonder, how am I going to help them? And they were very close to me. And so over time, when I was growing, I realized one of the platforms that you can help people is when people get education. Because I used to see how people struggle when they don't have education. Because the reason why this family was struggling is, again, parents never went to school. They don't have money to take the students, the kids to school. So you already see a cycle of poverty. And so I realized also, with a platform where I can be able to create employment, then this poverty will not be there. Also, I was in campus. Every other graduate's nightmare is, how do I get a job? There's no platform. There's no way of getting a job. So how can I come in and help graduates also be able to get jobs? I can say it comes from the nature of wanting to help.
So that's really interesting, that need to help, that passion for purpose.
Yeah.
You can identify that all the way back as a young child.
Mm.
Looking around today, like, where do you see you're having impact sort of in the near term? And is there some long-term vision? Is there something that you've got out there? Some big, hairy idea?
The vision is always on how to create a bigger platform, and a platform also that youth can use to create and innovate. And so that's what I see Zalego being, that platform that anyone who thinks of IT, either to help them get access to the job market, or someone to help this person to spark creativity or incubate their ideas and take them to the next level.
Well, it's a fascinating story. Certainly glad to be part of it, even if it's a small part. So excited to see where all this goes.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Yeah.